Hi there, this is Mr. Evans with this video on break-even analysis and how you can show changes in price, cost or output on a break-even chart. So this is this bullet point here, how to calculate and illustrate on a break-even chart if there's changes in price, output and cost. The easiest thing to do is look at a past paper question that's actually been asked on this topic. So this is from the Buzz 1 paper, June 2012 I think it is, and the question says the break-even chart below, which looks like that, shows the original break-even situation for Zoe's business. However, the increase in supply cost of party bags will lead to an increase in variable costs from £50 to £70 per party. So we need to do three things. Number one, we need to show the new total cost line after the increase in variable costs. We need to label the new break-even point, and then we need to label the new forecast profit as a result of this, labelled BC. Okay, so how would we go about doing this? So the first thing we need to do is work out what happens when the variable costs go up from £50 to £70 per party. So this is what we're given. You can see that we've just got the original total costs and total revenue line. Now what I'm going to be doing is trying to plot the new total cost curve when the price of the party bags has gone up, the variable cost per unit goes up. From £50 to £70. Now the first thing that I want to do, I know that total cost is equal to fixed costs plus variable costs. So the first thing that I want to do is see if I can find out my fixed costs, and because I know that fixed costs always start, the total cost line always originates where the fixed cost line is plotted. I can just look at the bottom of my total cost line here, and I can see that the fixed costs are between £10,000 and £20,000, and that is £15,000. So that's going to help me now that I know my fixed costs, and I can go about now trying to calculate my variable costs. Now my variable costs are £70 per party or per unit of output. So the output is down here. So I'm only going to plot 2 points on this diagram. I know that my new total cost line is going to originate here at the where the fixed costs line starts. So I know it's going to start there, and I'm just going to have a look at the variable costs when we've got 100 units sold and when we've got 200 units sold. I could do it with just one, but I just want to be on the safe side. So the first thing I'm going to do, the variable cost is £70 per party bag. If we sell 100 units, or if we not sell 100 units, if we are catering for 100 parties, which is what this person is doing, 100 times 70 equals £7,000. Okay, so total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. So my total variable cost for 100 units of output is 7,000. My fixed cost of 15,000, so 7,000 plus 15 equals 22,000. Okay, so I'm going to plot that on my chart here. Now, to be honest, I could just go straight ahead and draw a straight line from there to there, and that would plot the new total cost line. But I just want to be on the safe side, so I'm going to plot a second point at 200. Now, when I sell 200 party bags, or when I'm catering for 200 party bags and it costs me £70 a time, that's £14,000. Again, total costs equals fixed cost of 15,000 plus my variable cost 14, so that would be 29,000. So when I'm catering for 200 parties here, my total costs are going to be 29,000, just around there, and I would mark that with an X, and then I would get a ruler. Really important, this is the first mark. I need to plot that. So there's my new total cost curve. Now then, if I go back to the question quickly, I've been told to label that TC2. So there we go, TC2. Okay, so that should give you my first mark. What I can do now is move on to part B of the question, which is to identify the new break-even point. I know that the break-even output occurs where the total revenue equals the total cost, so that's that point here. Again, I've been told what to label it. I've been told to label it A, so I'm going to make it really clear. Okay, I've used the computer, it's not great, but point A is there, and that should be enough. Let's just check how I'm getting on. Okay, I've created my new total cost line, labelled it TC2, that's worth 3 marks, great. I've labelled the new break-even point, point A, nice and clearly, that's worth an extra mark. I now need to amend the break-even chart to show the new forecast profit as a result of the increase in variable costs based on Zoe's estimate of 225 parties per annum. So, Zoe, this is where I am. Zoe thinks she's going to get 225 sales per year. That is going to give her a total revenue up here, a total costs down there. Profit equals total revenue minus total costs. In other words, it's this area between the total revenue and the total cost curve. So let's just label that on there. And I needed to label it BC. Did I? Yes, label it BC. And that's that done. So let's just have a quick look at the mark scheme. Here's the mark scheme for that year. So you can see that I've done a reasonable job. That's about right. Total cost line should finish up around 37.50. Yeah, so mine's just about there. Certainly within the tolerance, within 31, between 28,000 and 31,500. You can see that I should have picked up these marks. Correct intersection with y-axis, let's just check that. About 15,000, yeah, so that's the intersection with the y-axis at 15,000. So you can see that I should have picked up these 3 marks. Correct positioning of A, and then the vertical line showing the profit. So that's what questions on break-even output look like. They're really important to practice them. It's quite a skill, but it is worth a number of marks if you can do that in the context of an examination.